right. So, I do this acting for poets program, and starting next week, some of the people from my Acting for Poets are going to help me with the Christmas program, and every year I do this one-man Christmas carol, the Dickens thing that I adapted, and I do it every year, and this will be the 13th year. So I thought, gosh, I'm tired of being up here alone, so I wanted to open it up to some of the Acting for Poets people, and so they're going to do a little a short play before I do the Christmas carol, and that's going to happen starting next week. So we're in the middle, I am especially in the middle of putting together two shows, my own and theirs. So I'm very busy. So I thought tonight, since you hear a lot about this one-man Christmas carol, and the 22 characters and all that, I thought tonight I would give you a short preview of what that's about, and maybe a little bit of an acting lesson too, because when you play 22 characters, you don't want the audience to get confused. You want everybody to come along with you. Now, it's very easy for this particular story because most everybody knows it, and that helps. But if you're just doing a regular story and you want to have a back and forth between characters, I kind of think that this is a way you can think about doing that. And you have to make a lot of choices. The characters are all different. The audience has to know that they're different. On the other extreme of that, though, is that the characters also have identities, and those identities live in me because it's my show. And so it's like opening a toy box every Christmas and pulling out all my characters and playing with them. And it's just like being a kid in my own dollhouse. And I must say, I recommend it. But what I really want to do tonight is just give you a preview. And so I'll do the opening of the show because that's the most comprehensible when you're just starting out. And you'll get the flavor of it and kind of see how it works. And maybe you'll even come see us next week or the Tuesdays. Every Tuesday between next week and Christmas, we'll be in here doing this show. So this is the concise Dickens Christmas Carol, the beginning, the opening. Once upon a time, of all the good days in the year, on Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat busy in his counting house. It was cold, bleak, biting weather, foggy withal. The city clocks had just gone 3, yet it was quite dark already, and candles were flaring in the windows of the neighboring offices like ruddy smears upon the palpable brown air. "A Merry Christmas, Uncle! God save you!" It was the voice of Scrooge's nephew. Humbug! Christmas a humbug, Uncle? Well, you don't mean that, I'm sure I do. Merry Christmas! What right have you to be merry? What reason have you to be merry? You're poor enough. Come then, Uncle. What right have you to be dismal? What reason to be morose? You're rich enough. Oh, don't be cross, Uncle. What else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this? Merry Christmas. Out upon Merry Christmas. What's Christmas to you but a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older but not an hour richer? A time for balancing your books and finding every item in them through a round dozen of months presented dead against you? Merry Christmas. If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart. And shut, Uncle, let you keep Christmas in your way. Let me keep it in mine. But you don't keep it. Well, let me leave it alone then. Much good may it do you. Much good has it ever done you. Oh, come, Uncle. Dine with us tomorrow.
I'll see you in hell first.
But why? I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why cannot we be friends?
Good afternoon.
Well, I'm sorry with all my heart to find you so resolute. But I shall keep my Christmas humor to the last. So a Merry Christmas to you, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
Good afternoon.
His nephew left the room without an angry word, stopping at the outer door to bestow the greetings of the season upon the clerk, who, cold as he was warmer than Scrooge, for he returned them cordially, and in letting Scrooge's nephew out, let 2 other people in. They were portly gentlemen, pleasant to behold, stood now with their hats off in Scrooge's office.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley has been dead these 7 years. He died 7 years ago, this very night.
Oh, well, I have no doubt that his liberality is well represented by his surviving partner.
Liberality?
At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor and destitute who suffer greatly at this present time. Why, many thousands are in want of common necessaries. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common comforts, sir.
Well, are there no prisons?
Oh, well, yes, plenty of prisons.
And the union workhouses, are they still in operation?
Well, they are. Still, I wish I could say they were not.
The treadmill and the poor law are in full vigor then?
Both very busy, sir.
Oh. Well, I was afraid from what you said at first that something had occurred to stop them in their useful course. I am very glad to hear it.
Under the impression that they scarcely furnish Christian cheer of mind and body to the multitudes, a few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to provide the poor with meat and drink and means of warmth. We choose this time because it is a time of all others when want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices. So what may I put you down for?
Nothing.
Oh, you wish to remain anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. Since you asked me what I wish for, gentlemen, that is my answer. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry. I support the establishments I have mentioned. They cost enough. Those who are badly off must go there.
But they can't go there.
And many would rather die.
Well, if they would rather die, they had better do it. Decrease the surplus population. Besides, it's not my business. It's enough for a man to understand his own business and not to interfere with other people's. Mine occupies me constantly. Good afternoon, gentlemen.